Hello, everyone in YouTube and LinkedIn Live. Welcome to the Monday, October 10th edition of the Systems Lab Live. Very excited to be back on all three of the platforms. Two more visual, as I am usually showing something on YouTube and LinkedIn. But it is good to be back in the flow. Last week, we had two interviews with Coley James, who is a family documentarian, and also with Ashley Pendergraph, who's an Airtable expert, and she has a program called Systems Over Stress, where she helps to set up the onboarding and offboarding. Love it, Nicole. Thank you for the support, even through the multitasking. I appreciate it. And what I always like to do whenever we have an in the lab, I always like to highlight the entrepreneurship journey, number one. And I also like to always flip the script on the fact that we have systems that support our life and our business. And so it is certainly my hope that when these interviews are aired, and that when we go live with these interviews, that you guys take the time to go back and pull the different lessons that my guests are talking about. So they're going to stay up there and for you guys to enjoy. Now, I also announced a new theme, and the theme is called The Inside Job. Now, it just came to me, literally the inside job, because similar to the Everyday Work series that we had 3 different sessions and we had different topics within Everyday Work. We were talking about communication, and we were discussing how do we get our everyday work accomplished, right? Some of us are working on very large projects. Some of us are looking to launch and execute a lot of things. So a lot of times the bigger projects and things get a lot of love. But let's not forget that there's work being done every day to make that big thing happen. So that's why I entitled it Everyday Work, so that we can have conversations about what we're doing every day. So time management, productivity, strategic road mapping, task management, project management, how we're communicating. So I will be having that replay of those series up for a little bit, and then they'll go into some sort of vault of some sort. But the Everyday Work series is phenomenal. And in fact, we are taking that concept of communication and turning that into a podcast season. So I'm working on a new podcast season, Conversations with Ask Ash, the communication breakdown. And we're talking about all the many different facets of communication. It's going to be fantastic. I just did the 3rd episode with a guest, and it was great. It was really, really good. So with that said, some of you may think, okay, well, isn't what you're doing every single day, Ashley, considered, not even every single day, when you come on here weekly, aren't you doing a podcast? And to that, let me sip. And to that, I say no. In my mind, right, this is how I'm framing it. The live show is really about discussing and taking topics that are complex and discussing them. I'm giving my take on them. I'm going to show you something. And so it's a little bit more interactive, right? I envision the Daily Show. I envision The View, like elements of like trending productivity topics, and being able to show you all some process related things and how to kind of do stuff at a quick level but also high at the same time, right? So for me, the live show component is really about taking these topics and then creating ways for you all to interact and to ask questions and things like that. And so the podcast is simply a body of work based upon a theme, right? And that can be used for your team, that can be used, whether it's in corporate, nonprofit. And we're still growing. Like, I'm still finding my niche. I think I changed my YouTube banner so that you guys can kind of know that I'm honing in more so on the project management, work management piece. So I think that's really important to know that distinction there as well. So that's it. No. No, the Systems Lab Live is really a place and space where we get together weekly and we talk about how you can manage projects better, how you can develop processes and execute the work accordingly and lead teams as well. So it's a great composite of people, process, and technology. And so the inside job is really just that. We're actually going in and really looking at it from the perspective of what are some of these topics that are a little bit more nuanced and a little bit more of a game changer that can literally change the trajectory of what you're doing. So we're actually tackling the first inside job topic, which is work management, which is inside of your business. What's going on, Robert? Good to see you. So that's what we're going to be tackling today. Is we're going to be tackling management, and we're probably going to go. I don't know. We'll go as many sessions as we need to on this. We're not going to rush the process on this, but we're going to start to walk through what is work management and like why is work management important. We're going to walk through that. So let's get some things started, shall we? Today's agenda. Oh, come on, overlay. Come on, overlay. I feel like Jose, who's the course director, black dude with a Spanish name, also one of the Canva Kings. I feel like he would be proud of me. Look at this. Look at this little overlay action on here. It looks really, really nice. Today's agenda, we're going to be talking about Loom product updates, defining work management, and then we're going to talk about what's next. So we're going to talk about what you should be thinking about and doing with work management. Awesome. Awesome, Robert. Yes, jump on. It's a good time. Loom product updates. So many of you, thank you so much. I appreciate that. It does look nice. Many of you may have heard of Loom. Okay. It is a product that is revolutionizing the way that you are communicating with your teams and your clients, board members, what have you. So Loom is one of the leading authorities or products out there, I should say, that is really transforming the way we're communicating. So what do I mean by that? Async communication. So async communication calls for responses that aren't that you don't necessarily have to have right away. So I'm just going to make it pretty plain. There's a live stream on this, and then I'm also talking about this on the upcoming podcast as well. So async communication calls for, hey, this is me, Ashley. I'm going to send a message in Slack, in Microsoft Teams, in where else? Notion. Yeah, some of the tools where you can chat, right? And I'm going to send a message that says, I would love for you to review this slide deck. Okay. You go on and you go about your life and your business and you work on something else. That person that receives that message says, great. Thank you so much, Ashley. This is just really, really exciting for me. I'm not sure that individual said it like that, but let's just say that individual is spirited nonetheless. So what happens is that individual, he could be on the West Coast, the East, well, West Coast, East Coast, Europe, wherever, and can respond when that person is scheduled to work. Okay. I'm using schedule loosely because if you're hybrid or remote, you might have flexible schedules and all of that. So if you posted a message at 9 o'clock, and maybe their 9 a.m. or their start time is really 1 p.m. EST. So that gives that person the flexibility to respond when they are able to, right? It gives them that aspect of, I'm not rushed. Okay. Like, async communication and being able to communicate in that way does not require responses that need to be right away. Oftentimes, when we've been in the office or, yeah, in person, or, yeah, let's just take with that example, you have to have an answer right then and there. Have to is a strong word, but 90% of the time, if you're meeting in person and someone's asking you a question, they want an update, it's right then and there. Nowadays, right, we're shifting our communication per the pandemic, per all the things going on. Now, async communication says, I don't have to, or rather, let's change our communication style so that we can communicate on a consistent level that does not require immediate response. And it also works for those individuals that are on different time zones. It also helps you to focus on what matters most. Async communication is not about rushing the process. It's about literally outlining how you are communicating. Okay? Does that make sense? I hope this makes sense. The point is that async communication really dives into communication that does not demand an immediate response. And you can do that with Slack and with Loom. So we're going to talk a bit about Loom and what they're doing. Two of the product updates for Loom. And I also want you to know too, Loom, and I don't think I explained properly like what Loom is. It's a video screen sharing and video creation tool. So if you've heard of Loom, if you've heard of Scribe, what else have you heard of? Vimeo, they have like a screen record thing, but Loom's a bit different because you can use Loom for trainings. You can use it to literally replace meetings. And when we talk about async communication and how the workplace is changing, many organizations are sending out videos of updates so that you don't have to be in a meeting. You could literally just watch a video on your own time, and that is async communication. So Loom has made lots of updates with their platform, and let's look at what they've been doing. So one thing that we should notice here is that, and let's just intro to Loom. What is Loom? I'm going to go right here. Okay. What is Loom? All right. So we're going to do this, and in a minute, hold on one second. So that is what is Loom. We're so glad that you're here. And let me go in a little bit so you guys can see it. It's a video messaging tool that helps get your message across through an instantly shareable videos. With Loom, you can record your camera, phone, and microphone and desktop simultaneously. Your video is an instant. Kevin Spires, Taylor's in the building. Your video is then instantly available to share through Loom patented technology. Okay. So Loom is a video sharing platform. Okay. You can start Loom for free. However, if you're serious about your Loom, you can for sure upgrade, excuse me, to $8 a month. But Loom has a lot of great things that you can do with it. So before we were talking about how to organize your videos with tags. Okay. So this is pretty cool because what they're looking to help you do is you can have a library of information on trainings, knowledge management. You can have a client library. You can have a best practices library, whatever it is that you are looking to do, and have a folder of information. But then you can also add a tag for context. Okay, this is good because if you are collaborating with team members, they're going to be able to discover new content in the library itself. So look right here, it says group together videos on a specific topic, pitch, performance, designer, review. Okay, this is really cool. I'm glad that Loom has started this because one of the top complaints that I know people get is that everything's disorganized. Where do I find things? Like, all those things in between. And I believe that by Loom being able to add context and you being able to have a tag inside of here is going to be phenomenal. Okay, so see here, if you want to request for feedback, you can literally put it in this little tag thing right here, feedback. Okay, you can also follow tags as well. So if you are someone who reviews a lot of video, you may want to, they may need your feedback. So you're going to tag it feedback, and then any type of new video that's needed for you to review, boom, you can absolutely go and go and review the video. Absolutely. I Am Beauty Organics is in the building. Thank you for tuning in. Shout out to everybody that is also on the YouTube and or LinkedIn Live for the visual, for the show and tell piece of this. Okay. So following tags, right? This is a game changer. Searching via tags. So you can even search by clicking into the tag or using the search bar. They have a search bar right here. Tips when using tags. Tags do not support spaces or punctuation, so keep it simple. Avoid creating tags to replicate folder structure. Okay. Now this goes into some process management type of process type of thing, how to best go about organizing your videos within Loom. That could be a show and tell if you guys want to see that, if that's something that's of interest to you. Check which tags are more frequently used before adding. Merging tags is not possible at the moment. Which, by the way, I don't know if I would want to merge tags. Depends. It all depends. But this is great. This is really fantastic. I'm going to go to the other product enhancement that they have, which is how to read a transcript. This is going to be good. How to read a transcript. Which, by the way, for the people who are more visual, let's see, how to read a transcript. Oh, well, maybe that's on the side right here. Let's look right here. Recording. Oh, okay. Loom has all of the tutorials on deck. Okay. I think this is it. Okay. How to read a transcript. Okay. Perfect. All right. I was able to find that easy. Transcription has been a game changer for Loom. They released that, I think, last year. But it's one of their more prominent features. And it's great because some people like to read more than they like to watch. Sometimes with video, depending on how it was edited or how it was recorded, it just may not be your format. So you go to review transcript, okay? And then from there, you click on the icon. And you see right here how this lady's talking, and then the transcript is right there. So you can actually click on the timestamps and it'll jump to the recording. You can also copy and paste it, or you can search for something. If you're watching a video that is transcribed, you can also view closed caption, which is also really, really important. Can I download my video in closed captions or download my transcripts? Unfortunately, at this time, you'll not be able to download your video with closed captions nor download your transcript. We hope to provide this capability in the future. So it's a little womp womp on that piece, but you can edit the transcript and you can search for words, which is very helpful. But it would be great. Now, well, that's a different product and tool. I was about to talk about Descript, but that's neither here nor there. Descript is a video and audio editing tool. Shout out to the Black Podcasters Association because there's a workshop being held on the 15th and 16th of this month. And there's like a 2-day Descript audio editing masterclass. I feel like it's going to be phenomenal. Okay, so those are the Loom product updates. We'll stop sharing for a minute on that. But yes, I absolutely wanted to just make sure that you all were syncing on Loom. So the bottom line is that Loom can help save you time. Loom, and how does Loom do that? If you are on meetings, back-to-back meetings, maybe let's say you have 3 meetings, like face-to-face virtual meetings, half of the week, like 3 days out the week. That's kind of a lot. That's like almost like 12 different meetings. Loom can help save time by recording information, sharing your screen, recording an update. So back to the example of me requesting feedback, instead of meeting with John could just send me a Loom video that says, "Hey, Ashley, wanted to go over some things with you. Here's what I'm thinking for your presentation. Here's what I think we should do. Here's what I think we should change." Love it, right? We're not in a meeting. We are not in a meeting, which is very, very exciting. That means that we can focus on the things that matter most. That means that we can really get down into the weeds that we need to, and it'll just save everybody time. Come on. Come on, time saving. Come on, time saving. Questions so far about Loom, case studies, anything that I can do to chat with you about that. And then we'll dive into work management and the definition. We'll definitely get into the definition, and then we'll pick it back up on next week. But we'll also talk a little bit more about work management on Thursday, which will be more of a demo. It's more of a demo type of thing. It's going to be talking about tools that you can use for work management. We're going to talk about, what the workflow looks like and all that other good stuff. So, all right. Loom, work management and establishing communication. Yes, Kev, you know it. Anytime, Kev, that you need to use feedback for clients, you use a Loom video. As much as you can literally give progress checks with Loom by showing them the progress of any graphic design work, logo openers, all the things that you do so well. You can literally press that button and send somebody a video that says, "Hey, just wanted to give you a heads up. Just wanted to let you know how things are going." It's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. Okay, y'all, let me pull up the definition of, or rather, let's talk a bit about work management, shall we? I'm going to pull something up. Work. I'm late. How do I find out more? Yes, you can. LOOM.com. Absolutely. Loom.com. That's it. That's how you find out more about Loom. It's quite wonderful. So let's share the screen. Let's share the screen, folks. And we're going to get into a bit of process and flow. We're going to talk about work management. What is it? Why is it important? Okay. Important stuff. Important things. And I'm going to grab a couple of notes on this. You know it. You know it. Always, always, my friend. Loom.com. Absolutely. And then too, if you go to my YouTube show and you go into after this video, I do have like a little link that you can click, like a little referral link. Absolutely. All right. Work management. Work management. What is it? I think we've heard a lot about it. Have you all heard about work management? Have you all heard about work management? It is work management. Let's break this down for a minute. Work management is it's a process and it encompasses how to integrate people, streamline various processes within a company in order to maximize efficiency, productivity, profits. Work management is designed to streamline and to integrate inside of a team or an organization. Okay. So work management, it comprises of it's of time, managing people, processes, client relationships, project management. And just so that we are making a distinction, work management and project management are different. So let's put project management to the side because I talk about it all the time, right? Project management is very deliverable focused, very deliverable based. Deliverables meaning launching a virtual event, coaching program, logo, podcast episode. Like, that is it's an event focus. So you're putting on an in-person event, a hybrid event. You are developing SOPs. Project management is very much focused on how do we get this particular goal accomplished, this entity accomplished, right? And so that is really, really key in understanding. Now, work management, which is something that is emerging, but we've seen this a lot. We've seen the work management piece, right? So work management describes and manages workflows and workloads, both individuals and teams within a scope of work. So what exactly does that mean, right? Let's break that down a little bit, okay? So it's looking at it from the perspective of the projects that are being managed, the time, the resources, the processes, client relationship, what do you have in terms of your business and your data? So we'll go over a few of these areas so that you can start to think about it. So if you ever worked for a company, if you ever worked in corporate, this is also again applicable to you as a brand and a business. You may not have all of these things, but you have most. Okay? And they're going to look a little bit different. So if you look at it from the perspective of work management, it's project management. Okay? That's going to be the largest piece of this. So this is about deadlines, assigned work, delivering results. Very results driven project management. It's like, all right, when are you going to get this logo done? Course, when are we getting it done? Time management. Think about when you have to account for your time because you're in corporate. So you have to submit a timesheet. Okay. If you are a contractor and you're on a team, not an employee, but a contractor, time management. How am I as a CEO? How do I have a time management process in which I can account for people who work for me so I understand what they're doing and how much time it's taking and when they're working. That's that time management piece of it. That's the time management piece of it. Resource management. This is all about the resources within your particular team or business. So if you have an e-commerce business, you sell soap, you sell candles. Oh, perfect. Not I have a candle business. But in my mind, I was thinking I was I was thinking of someone who is just fantastic. Oh, hold on. I have my little okay. My Siri was about to come on. Um Christine, okay. Christine Archie, and she has I am numbered curls. Okay. I am numbered curls. This is a perfect example of resource management. So she sells natural hair care products. Okay. Products, people. Okay. For your hair. All right. So when we're looking at resource management, then there has to be a process for the creation, the maintenance, and the distribution of the resources within her company. We're talking about inventory. All right. They can also be intangible assets such as patents and copyright. Make sense? So the project piece of it in terms of her company, and again, I'm not in her company, but I am just going off of the definition of work management. She's going to need to have a resource management workflow. And then she's also most likely going to have a project management workflow. Okay. So this piece could be consultation services with other natural hair care designers or stylists. I don't know what the right terminology is, but I think you guys get it. And it could also be that there's a project management aspect to, uh, to how she's delivering her content. Okay, there could be that piece of it. Okay, but even so let's stay on that track, because in certain like corporate cultures, like if it was Nike or Adidas, you're going to see a little bit more of the inventory, or you're going to see even more of, some of the more other types of traditional aspects of these work management processes. But then for online business owners, those that are in that online product space, you then are going to have like that resource management. You're also going to have like content creation. That's going to be a part of your work management. Okay. What's going on? What's going on? I am Nadia Olivia. Well, welcome. I love it. So, okay, going back to numbered curls. Boom. So we got resource management. We also have the other piece of it is client relationship management. So this is the internal and the external workflow of how she's interacting with clients, how she's getting the product to them. There's definitely in terms of like marketing, there's that aspect of it. That would probably be like a marketing workflow, marketing, content creation. That's a workflow. When it gets to what's the other piece of it? HR, hiring people, that'll also be a part of the business too, if it's not already, right? Then it's the human resources aspect. So even though I named, how many things did I name in the beginning? I think I named like 6 things: project management, time management, resource management, process management, client relationship management, and business intelligence. So it's all of these things, but in my view, right, you don't have to make that prescriptive to your particular business or brand. You can flip the script, you can add to it, you can take from it, whatever it is that you want to do. questions we have so far. I have a quote to share about it, but I will go over a few more of the what does work management include. Okay. So as we go over that, okay, so I said there were six business areas. We talked about project management. We know that that's very deliverable focused. Time management. We're talking about this. We're talking about the schedule in terms of your team and the hours that's required. What does that process look like? It's also there's also a schedule / time management component to the work that's being done and completed. Okay. Resource management, the creation, maintenance, and distribution of all of your company's resources. So we're looking at inventory and equipment, intangible assets. Process management, more on other types of processes within your business. That could be human resources, that could be marketing, so many things. Client relationship management. This is the internal operations of how you manage your clients, the communication, and how you are going about communicating the buying process, right? The customer journey, the internal communication, the external communication, the process that it takes from seeing your product to actually buying it. That's a whole thing. And then they have business intelligence, which is the use of technology to collect and analyze data. Okay, so what's the data piece of that? So as we kick this new theme off, we'll be diving into pieces of this, right? And I've just been fascinated in terms of what I've been studying, what I've been seeing, what's already been going on. But this aspect of work management is crucial to us as team members, if you're an employee, if you're a CEO. This is important for us to understand what processes inside of my business and my brand do I actually A, know about, B, is it documented, is it created, is it streamlined? So we have to start thinking about that, and that's what we're going to be tackling in that what's next portion of the show, because I definitely want to get a challenge out to you all in terms of how we can better think about work management. Because as we continue to grow, develop, manage our work, have processes, collaborate, solve new problems, work management is instrumental in achieving your organizational goals. It's just going to it is what it is. And so some of you may be thinking, well, I don't need all of this right now. Right? And what I would say to that is you may not need all six. You actually mainly only have two. And it's not for you to sit there and say, let me get off this live and create a whole bunch of processes. But you should be thinking right now, man, this work management piece. Okay, this work management piece. How does that apply to me? Right? How does that apply to me? So let me just stop share for a minute. Oh, let me go to this quote that is. Work management streamlines and transforms critical business processes and thus can improve results and performance. So again, you may be thinking, well, actually, I'm not a corporation yet. No, I'm not a corporation. So what actually should I be thinking when it comes to this? All right. So here's what we want to do. We for sure want to look at this from this perspective and say, what do I have currently that's in my brand and business? Take an example. Those are in the creators economy. Shout out to those that create, right? The content is king. Okay. You probably think to yourself, girl, I don't know nothing about no resource management. That don't even apply to me. Well, it may not in this particular season of your life. But does that mean that you don't have documented content creation and process workflows? No. So in terms of work management, content creation is a part of that. Podcasting, creating content for social media, live streaming, workflows. Okay, workflows. You understand? Coaches, perfect. You got a coaching program? Shout out to all the coaches out there. You are looking to expand. Okay. You may want to hire more coaches. Okay. Hiring a head coach, you're just like, I need to hire, maybe a marketing or branding person. So now you have to think about, from a time and resource, like a human resources perspective, what does that element look like within work management? You follow? Y'all following? You see what I'm saying? And it's not that you have to have it super complicated, but we must begin, challenge of the week, we must begin to think about work management. And what does that mean for the brand and the business? So what would be cool for you all to do, what would be really awesome for you all to do, is to text live to 626 922 626 722 5444, and text me and tell me, in terms of the work management piece of it, what you thought of this live stream, number one, and two, what questions that you have about work management, and three, are there 1 to 3 processes that either apply now or that you are going to see in the next 6 months? You see what I'm saying? Let's just begin to think about this. And listen, if you just have more questions, you want to text me, no problem, because we're going to begin to unpack these areas, and we're going to begin to unpack the process and then how you go about managing it through tools such as ClickUp. So we're going to spend some decent amount of time in ClickUp, seeing how you can create a workflow, create a process, and then how that you can set that up inside of ClickUp. For sure. All right, y'all. We're at the 43-minute mark, tad bit early, but it's been a lot of good information. A lot of great information has been shared. Okay, so let's process this information, and let's come on back. Let's come on back fresh on Thursday. Coley James is in the building. Let's come back fresh on Thursday, where we're going to do a little show and tell action. There will not be a replay for Thursday. You're going to have to get on the live stream. I'm going to take away the video. No, I'm just kidding. I am going to hide the video. I'm going to build out a library of stuff down the line. But that's it, folks. Thank you all so much. Text hashtag live 626-722-544 to ask me questions about any of the live streams and the challenge of the week, which is to identify work management processes. And yeah, stay in tune and stay in touch, stay in tune for Thursday's live stream. We'll see you.